Welcome back. John Spear here again, doing another 2-bottle pour, again from the same distillery in this case. So I did a Bardstown, 2 different bottles of Bardstown. I mean, there are numerous bottles of Bardstown. Today we're doing some Wild Turkey, and I know that my friend Jamie Runn might be, he might be. I don't think he's jealous because I'm sure he has probably the full Wild Turkey lineup, and he and I have sampled quite a few Wild Turkey products when we've drank some bourbon together in the past. As a reminder, thumbs up. I hope you stick around for the entire video. These 2 drink pours, they're usually pretty shorter, so if you have a little bit of patience, stick around, and love to hear your feedback and your comments about these Wild Turkeys that I'm sipping on. And if you don't have the patience, you can always watch it at like 1.5 or 2 times speed. I might sound like I'm from the Emerald City or the Land of Oz if you do that, but that's okay. So I've had today we got 2 bottles again, Wild Turkey. I've had this rare breed for a bit, and you've heard me, if you've watched any of my content, when Jamie and I have talked about Wild Turkey in the past, I always kind of dismiss Wild Turkey bourbons, but that tide it's definitely changed. I would say current moment, Wild Turkey is probably my favorite distillery. I really enjoy a lot of their products. I think behind me there's the Russell 10-year single barrel. I think I don't know if you can see it, the long branch in the cabinet here. That's really good. This rare breed is fantastic. And I believe one of our viewers commented that I should get the Kentucky Spirit. I forget who suggested that, so forgive me if you're watching and you suggested that, but do want to thank you for that suggestion. I found this bottle of Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit at I think maybe a new little honey hole, and I'm happy to share it with you. It's Bobolink, and it's in Edinburgh, Indiana, of all places. It's right on 31, really easy to get in, get out. Fantastic bourbon selection, really. So let's try these. And I guess you can see that we're probably equal level here. I've had this one for a long time. I've only had this one for a few days, but I was enjoying this the other night, and it's just, it's a really good drink. So let's start with the rare breed. And this is 116.8 proof from the Wild Turkey website. And I'll give you the links to all these things as well. That this is a blend of 6, 8, and 12 year. The mash bill on I think pretty much every Wild Turkey product you're going to consume is probably 75 corn, 13 rye, 12 barley, malted barley, and that's the case for both of these products today. 75 corn, 13 rye, 12% malted barley. Pretty consistent with them. But again, this is a blend. So I guess since the youngest bourbon that's in here is a 6, I guess we can give this an age statement of a 6-year. Cost on the rare breed is it is about $60. Same is going to be the case for this Kentucky Spirit, right around $60. And again, the mash bill's same. We'll talk more about the Kentucky Spirit here in a moment. Pretty easy to find. I don't know how difficult or easy this is to find, but again, we'll talk about that one here in a moment. Let's dive into this rare breed. And I think if memory serves, when I got this a while back, I took a sip, and it was hot. I mean, it is 116.8 proof, so it's got the heat. And I remember kind of at first, I would say I didn't really favor, I probably tended to enjoy things around the 100-ish proof or so before I dove into this, with one exception. I've been an Old Forester 1920 when that's 115 proof. I've been a fan of that for a long time, so that's really good stuff. But let's get in the nose and get in the taste, and let's talk a little bit more about the proof and the flavor profile. The nose on this is so surprising to me, because I would think at 116.8 proof, there's going to be a very strong ethanol nose. And there's hints of it. But, it's just, I get some corn. I get some baking spices, honestly, on this one. Maybe maybe a little bit of caramel on this one too. It is hot. It is a hot drink, but I like it. And on that one, hmm, buttery smooth. I mean, it seems weird to say a drink that's high proof that has heat is also buttery smooth, but that's definitely the case on this one. It's just a great product. I mean, like I said, I'm really kind of fanboying over the Wild Turkey products here lately. So, for the money, it's some of the best products you can buy. You really can't go wrong. Now, I don't have the Wild Turkey 101 in my collection yet. I see it all the time, and I'm like, I should just grab one. But in my mind, it's like it's always going to be there. It's always going to be there. But I'll get one of those here soon, and maybe we'll do more of a broader array of Wild Turkey products. Although, if I drink too many of these north of 100 proof sips in a setting, it could be, it could get ugly on the video real quick. Yeah, it's just, that nose is just so pleasant. I mean, if I could have this in a candle, I would burn this and let that aroma fill the air. It's a really good smell. And see, on that taste, I get a little bit of oakiness on that one. That's good. It's really good. It's fantastic. It's a great drink, and like I said, you can find this. It's pretty readily available. I thought because it said uh, rare breed that it might be rare and hard to find, but I see it a lot of places. So, but I do encourage you all to get one if you haven't tried it. Again, it's going to be higher proof. It's got the heat for sure, but it is good. And maybe you were like me. Maybe you like dismissed Wild Turkey at some point in time and haven't revisited it. If that's the case, I definitely encourage you to go check out the Wild Turkey products, Russell's, the Long Branch, these two products. All right, let's dive into the Kentucky Spirit. And this one is, let's go to the Wild Turkey website. This is a 101 proof, 101 proof. I think that seems to be classic. I don't know. Maybe some of you know this. I'm sure Jamie probably knows this if he's watching. It seems like a lot of like Wild Turkey does the 101, and I don't know if that's intentional on purpose, if they're trying to like make some sort of specific statement or what the case may be. I'm sure there's probably a wonderful history lesson on some Wild Turkey products are just north of that 100. I know bottled and bond products are at 100 proof, and there's certain conditions and circumstances and specifications that one has to meet to be called bottled and bond. I don't know if you know why some of the Wild Turkey products are 101 proof. Let me know in the comments. But this is again 101 proof, and it's from a single barrel aged 8 years. So this is Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit, Kentucky Straight Bourbon, single barrel. Again, that mash bill as a reminder on this one. I should have it memorized by now. 75 corn, 13 rye, 12% malted barley. How hard is this to find? I don't know. It maybe is out there all the time. I think the reason that my eye gravitated toward it when I was at the liquor store the other day was from a comment from one of you that I should get this and try it. So maybe it's readily available, just like rare breed. I don't know. You can tell me if that's the case too, but you can find it at the Bobble Link in Edinburgh for sure. See, I barely have anything left in this rare breed, and now most of the nose is like oak, which is kind of interesting. This one is more stronger on the ethanol on the nose, which again is a little surprising to me because it's 101 proof. It at least surprising to me when it's compared to the rare breed. I didn't get super strong ethanol forward on the nose, but this one there's something in the background on the nose. I can't quite place what it is, but it is ethanol forward on the nose. All right, let's take a sip. See, that one's got a lot more oakiness in the flavor. Sometimes oaky taste notes can be, they're interesting to me. Sometimes the distiller like nails it. Other times it's so oaky that it's like you're chewing on some tree bark. Um, Wild Turkey, they nailed it with this Kentucky Spirit. It's the right amount of oakiness. But man, it tastes so different than that rare breed. Um, you know, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm getting a little like earthy uh, nose on it now. Like almost, and I know this sounds terrible to think that something you're going to drink and consume smells a little bit like earth and dirt, but man, it kind of does. And I'm not mad about it. That is such a smooth drink too. Again, oak. I do feel that taste was a little bit more earthy than the first sip. And to me, with certainly with these two wild turkeys, I'll have to jog my memory on some of the others. There's like a subtle sweet aftertaste. It just kind of, it's almost like you've been you know how sometimes when you have like super sweet candy, like a Jolly Rancher. I mean, not quite as strong as a cherry Jolly Rancher, but there's hints of that. You know, that and that sweetness is kind of like lingering on my tongue and the roof of my mouth. And you know, at the same time, I just, I don't know. It's just, these are good. I know I'm gushing. I know it's probably a little bit embarrassing now that I'm gushing so much, but what do y'all think? How do you feel about Wild Turkey? Have you had the rare breed? Have you had the Kentucky Spirit? How do you compare and contrast? Oh yeah, I don't think I told you this, but the Kentucky Spirit also about $60. So you know, at the $60 price point for bourbons, there are a lot of fantastic options. You know, I mentioned the Old Forester 1920. That is a good pour. Uh, it's just a different flavor profile than what we have with these wild turkeys. But at that $60 price point, these are buy all day, every day. So, you know, that Long Branch that I did a video on recently, you know, I ran out of that pretty quickly because it was so good. So these are bottles, in my opinion, that I'm going to have probably one in reserve. If I get down too low, I'm going to go get the next one. But I'd love to hear your comments. You know, what do you think? You know, are there other bottles at that $60 price point that beat Wild Turkey? If so, why do you think so? So again, as always, appreciate you tuning in. Always appreciate the thumbs up. Always appreciate the comments. Love hearing your feedback and suggestions. And hope you know also think about subscribing. We'll be putting out content. I got some projects here I need to start working on here very soon, as far as getting some fermentation and things like that going. I got a couple other things I want to experiment with that little gadget back there in the corner. Some crazy thoughts. So stay tuned, but you know, subscribe and that way you know you can get all the new content that comes out when it's ready. So anyway, thank you all. Appreciate it.